Yo, what's going on guys, it's Anime1 back with another video, and today I'm here with another part of what if Naruto was banished and awakened a secret power. So if you guys like the content in the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, also like this video. So let's begin the video. So that's the summarized version of what happened right now. A dark voice said to the figure that was just sitting down in a rock. He had a orange mask and a Katsuki cloaking on. Izumi Uchiha had joined hands with Shanks, and Kisame is dead, huh? Those monkeys never seem to leave my back. I guess I'll just have to pay a visit to my old-time acquaintance, Shanks. Even if I'm not as powerful as I used to be, it'll still be your downfall to be messing with me, red hair, he said as he vanished in a swirling vortex. Meanwhile, Shanks and other had arrived in their house, and Shanks greeted all of them to his wife. His wife doesn't play much of a part in the story, not emotional, nothing, so I don't want to go much over that. Shanks is the most important part, so we'll go over that. Izumi was currently just gardening outside just to get some resources in, like the wood and maybe some fruits and vegetables, so they could prepare for dinner. Naruto, meanwhile, was training with Shanks to master his dark release, and Izumi sensed something behind her. She didn't turn around as she sensed the man's presence. "You, what are you doing here?" Izumi said without turning around. The man just looked at her, his one single shotgun, looking at Izumi with a calculating gaze. "You know better than anyone, Izumi, why I'm here. If you decide to switch sides, you do know what will happen. Our deal is done for, and your brother will not be out of the equation anymore. I can go anytime and kill him, or tell him the truth. Anyone is fine with me," the man said. Izumi turned around, her Mangekyou activated, glaring at the man. "If you dare to go anywhere near Sasuke, you'll pay for it," she said. The man chuckled. "You honestly think your hollow threats will work on me, little girl? I am more powerful than you can imagine, and yet I'm only a formal I'm only a shell of my formal self. Those damn Uzumakis are really a pain in the ass." But before the man could speak any other words, a sword passed right through him as Shanks jumped in front of Izumi, and Naruto landed beside Izumi. "What are you doing here?" Shanks asked in his, a serious tone. He was dead serious, you could tell that. The man looked at Shanks with a calculating gaze as well. "It's been a long time, Shanks. Nah, the last time I saw you, it was when you and the others performed that stealing jutsu on me. How unfortunate. But it is what it is," the man said. "What do you want?" "Uchiha," Shanks said, still not revealing the man's name. Now. I just came to talk with Izumi, but since you're here, I guess I'll have a little chit-chat with you as well. Shanks, I said to you, don't get in my way, or you will pay for it," the man said, his dark gaze turning dark really quick. Shanks smirked as the dark aura surrounded him. "You can try, but you know as better as anyone that at the power level that you're right now, you cannot defeat me. Even if you are very strong, stronger than probably all the 5 Kage, you are still no match for me. You know that, don't you?" "Agami Uchiha," Shanks said. Agami, who was the man behind the mask, just narrowed his one eye. It's all thanks to Uzumaki's, I guess, he said, but then he pointed his finger at Naruto. But the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, on the other hand, I may let Izumi go, Shanks, but that brat is gonna be on my hit list and in the hit list of the Akatsuki. If I'm not gonna come here, some other are. And even if I'm the strongest member in that Akatsuki, that doesn't mean that the others don't have tricks up their sleeve. Just be ready. How long will it keep on protecting the boy? Some time is gonna come when I'm gonna regain my full power. And when that happens, it's all game over. The man said, and in a blink of an eye, he was behind Izumi. Shanks was the only one who sensed it, but he didn't sense any kind of malicious intent from the man, and Izumi was ready. Shanks knew that much, that he was well more than capable of protecting herself. The man started speaking. And you think you know everything about the Uchiha Massacre. Little girl, you don't know much yourself. The man who orchestrated that massacre was me. Not Danzo, not your father. It was me who was pulling the strings from behind. Well, if I'm here, I might as well tell you, the man said as he started speaking his story. After the Nine-Tailed attack, who was also orchestrated by me, I implanted the doubts on the minds of the villagers by spreading rumors that the Uchihas were the one who controlled the Nine-Tails and attacked the village. Even if that was a far-fetched truth, it was a truth because I am an Uchiha just like you. But that wasn't enough. The Civilians Council and the people, regular people of Konoha, didn't have any power. So, to get the Uchiha clan to get out of my way, what I needed to do was, well, you may have guessed it, put one of the higher-ups of Konoha under my thumb. And coincidentally, Danzo was the perfect target. The hatred for the Uchiha was passed down to him from the second Hokage, and because of that, he was much an easier target to manipulate. I put him under Genjutsu, which is comparable to that of Shisui's Koda Matsukami, and he was under my control until the night of the Uchiha Massacre. And once everything was done, you know everything from that point on, don't you? Don't you, Izumi? The man whispered in her ear, as Shank's eyes were wide, and so was Naruto. You mean? Yes, your father, Fukaku Uchiha, was also under Genjutsu under me. Making him betray the village. The bastard was a tough one to crack because of his mangekyo, but he wasn't impossible. He was easy, to be honest, but your father did love his village, I'll tell you that much. Even after I told him that how much the Uchiha clan would suffer, he didn't budge. He wanted to stay by the side of his village, to land's mean, and that would have gained him no good. But after I implanted fake memories into his brain, he was very easy to manipulate. That's the truth about the Uchiha Massacre. The rest, I'm pretty sure you're gonna tell them, aren't you, Izumi? The man says started vanishing in a swirling vortex. The next time we meet, you better prepare yourself, because who knows, Sasuke Uchiha might be your enemy, he said as his presence completely vanished. Izumi looked at Naruto and Shanks for a few moments, as every single word settled down in her brain. Everything was planned by that man. Even Danzo and her father, everything. She collapsed to her knees as he grabbed her head. Entire thing was she started to cry as both Shanks and Naruto could not do anything. They could just watch the girl break down. It was like she was holding it in and she needed to do it. They just let her cry. After a few hours, Izumi had finally stopped crying as she was looking at Naruto and Shanks, but still the depressed look on her face. As she starts speaking, I'm pretty sure both of you have confusions about what was that man talking about. But I'll tell you the entire truth of the Uchiha massacre. She said as she started telling them the truth. And both Shanks and Naruto were very surprised to hear the truth. Not Shanks as much as Naruto, who simply thought the same thing as Sasuke thought. Izumi was a cold-blooded murderer who killed their own clan for, well, power to unlock her Mangekyo. So who knows? Maybe that was it. But then, when Naruto knew the truth, he looked at the girl with a sympathetic look. Who would have thought that you would have to kill your own parents? Huh? He said. Izumi shook her head. I don't need your pity, but I cannot let that man get anywhere near Sasuke, she said. Shanks nodded. He won't, trust me. One thing I know about Agami is he is the man who doesn't make unnecessary moves until they are completely needed. Until Sasuke is no use to him, he'll not make any moves on him. You can be rest assured of that. And I suggest you tell Sasuke the truth the next time you meet. He said. Izumi nodded. I'm planning on doing that. I don't want him turning against the Leaf Village. And as for your illness, Shanks said, as he smiled a little, my wife has found a seal that can cure it. It's a medical seal, so it'll take some time, a month probably, but it's a slow procedure, so I hope you're patient with me, Izumi. It'll work, and you'll be as fit as you could ever be. Shanks said, Izumi bowed her head. In debt to you, red hair. And Naruto, she said looking at Naruto, please don't give up on my brother. He's just lost. He needs a way. She said, Naruto just looked down. I'm not sure if I can do that anymore, Izumi. I've just given up on the Leaf Village itself. Sasuke is just a small part of it. And I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Izumi nodded. I understand, but well, it was still worth a shot, she said. Naruto gave her a smile. Well, if that's what you want to say. But before anything, who is Agami Uchiha? Said Izumi as he looked at Shanks. I thought he was Madara Uchiha, but Agami, that's a new name, she said. Shanks looked at her with a serious look. Look, what I'm about to tell you to, Naruto, I would have told you sooner or later since you would have met that man. But I guess it's fine telling you right now. Agami Uchiha. Agami Uchiha is the first hybrid between a Uchiha and a Senju. And once that happens, a born baby is nothing but a monster. Someone whose power cannot be rivaled. It was the same thing. Unfortunately, Agami stayed with the Uchihas throughout most of his life. Agami, again, was considered as a prodigy, since you don't know about him is because of his evil deeds. Or the Uchiha clan simply didn't want their successors to be anything like him. So they hid the fact. Only few people know about him, like the Uzumaki clan did, because Agami was keen on getting the knowledge of the Uzumaki sealing arts. But our clan was clever, they never let him. But Agami didn't like that. He orchestrated an entire plan of trying to get rid of our clan. Then, when that happened, he came there himself. His power was something that was not being matched. He was simply unstoppable at that time. We thought we were doomed, but the Uzukage had a plan. That was to seal his power away, and if not his power, seal him completely. But Agami was too strong for him to just be sealed away. So we sealed away 70% of his total power. Only in that sealing jutsu, 5 of our clansmen died, including the Uzukage. But the sealing was successful, and Agami was pretty much powerless. But that doesn't mean that Agami was not powerful too. Even in his 30%, he was above all the 5 Kages at that time. That just proves how strong the man was if he had his entire 100% power. Even Madara Uchiha paled in comparison to Agami. I hope you're trying to get what I'm trying to say, he said, as Izumi nodded, a little frightened, but Naruto didn't give a damn fuck about it. Naruto, the only one who had enough power to stop Agami at that time, was me, who had, well, the dark release. Then, even in 30%, Agami was someone who was not to be messed with. He slaughtered many of our clansmen in rage, and I was the one who dragged him out of our village. I was the one who was keeping him in bay in his 100% power. As I said, keeping him in bay. I knew for a fact that I was no match for him, but with my dark release, I was able to hold him off until the sealing jutsu was completed. So that's the story. Agami, I don't know much about him, but what I know, I told you. That man is no good news. Shanks said. Naruto heard an inner voice inside of him. The Agami, he causes trouble even in this era. Naruto blinked a few times. Oh, Fox. You knew about him? He said. Kurama scoffed. Of course I did. What did you expect, human? Agami Uchiha is the man who awakened the Rinnegan right after the Sage of the Six Paths himself. And that's something to be feared. The power that the Uzumaki sealed away was his Rinnegan, and his left Mangekyo ability away. He still has his right one, the Kamui, which lets you pass through any objects by sending your, well, body parts into a different dimension. It's a rather complex ability, but once you master it, it becomes a rather troublesome ability to deal with. Agami is a master of Kamui, and with that jutsu alone, he is strong as fuck. Even in his 30% power, he was able to put me under Genjutsu and make me attack your village. That says something, brat. What are his goals? Naruto asked. To both the Kurama and Shanks. Shanks shook his head. I have no idea, he said. The fox also shook his head. Same here. If I knew his goals, it'd be much easier. Tear him from limb to limb. I would enjoy that sensation. Luring him in because of his goals and then killing him. Man, that would be a good one. Kurama said as he started chuckling. Naruto started drop. Sadistic fox, he thought. But then a question popped in Naruto's head. Hey, Fox, I want you to be honest with me right now. Is Agami Uchiha and his 100% power stronger than you? Kurama stayed silent before he gulped. Even if it hurts to say, Agami Uchiha is far more stronger than I am. And is 100%. He's even stronger than what Hashirama Senju was when he used 1,000 Cannon Buddha. And let me tell you, brat, the 1,000 Cannon Buddha, well, it's not something you wanna go up ahead against. But Agami, even, is stronger than that. Let me tell you, that's a feat that only one man I knew had achieved. That was Sage of the Six Paths himself. But that's outside of the topic. You have the potential to be as strong as Agami, not only because of the Dark Release, you also have me inside of you. Those two combinations might just work in your favor. Kurama said Naruto was dozing off. Shanks aside, as he's probably talking to his tenant. Izumi nodded as well. Well, I never was a Jinchuriki, neither had a tail be still inside of my belly, so I don't know what will happen, she said as Debo shrugged. Naruto was weird sometimes like that.